Hey guys, happy Sunday. Um, so I've been seeing a lot of um, dating foolery, um, with in particular black men posting um, black women either acting out of pocket or getting got because of things that they did. But no, it's been a while. Quite a few years since I've been on the dating scene. But if I had to do it today, I would still do it the same way that I did when I was on the dating scene. And it's basically the man is responsible for initiating the date, planning the date, executing the date, and paying for the date, and getting the woman back home safely. That has always been how dating was. The point of the date is for you two to get to know each other in a safe environment. If a man asks you on a date, he is supposed to put some effort into this date. It should be fun for the both of you, and it should be in a good place where the two of you can get to know each other. There should be no expectation of sex from either party. And the man really should pay for everything. It's part of him being a man. That's his responsibility. He asks, he initiates, he pays. Okay, black women have been so used to the trash dating standards that they think that they're expected to pay for their portion of the meal unless they're going to put out. Okay, I've always been taught that the man pays, but the woman should always have money just in case the man pulls some kind of you put out, or I'm not going to pay for your food, or some refuses to take you home type of deal if you don't put out and have sex with him. A woman should always make sure that she is protected. Usually the man is supposed to do that, but the woman should always have a backup plan in case the man fails to do that. It used to be that even when you went out on a date and the man is expected to pay, you still should have some money, or at least back in my day, it was a dime in your pocket to call home so someone can pick you up, or someone can come and make sure you get home safely if your date decided to ended up being a piece of shit. Okay? So men are supposed to initiate the dates. They're supposed to plan it, and they're supposed to execute it. If a man is too lazy to do those basic things to make sure you have a nice date, or the both of you have a nice place where you can enjoy each other's company and get to know each other, then he's too lazy to be an effective mating prospect. Just move on, okay? When a girl gets all dolled up and gussied up, she's expecting to be, you to put some sort of effort into the date, because she's putting effort into her appearance. Her contribution isn't monetary. It's to be feminine, attentive, engaging, and for you to, to be open with each other, to get to know each other on whatever the level that you are on in your dating life. Could be your first date, third date, I don't know which date it might be, but she's supposed to be engaging. You don't want a boring date, someone that's not talking to you, and someone that it comes with an attitude and all that stuff. So the woman puts in an effort into herself to make sure she feels pretty, to make sure that she looks nice for you, and to make sure that the two of you can enjoy each other, non-sexually, but enjoy each other, and because men are visual creatures. So yes, they're going to put some effort into it so the man takes pleasure in what they look like. Okay, so her job is really just to show up and be her lovely self. Okay? As a leader, he's supposed to be the planner and the executor, and the one that makes sure you get home safely. It's just that simple. Dating has not changed. It is the people who have changed and tried to, you know, gray up the waters. Dating has not changed, and it's just cheap ass black men that don't want to put any kind of effort into the dating, that has caused a lot of problems in especially the black dating scene. Just divest, sisters, and get the hell out. Okay? Go on to greener pastures. It's just that simple. And when you go on to greener pastures, do not bring your baggage. As I keep telling you, don't bring the baggage that you have been experienced in the black community into other communities, because they do not operate the same way. Okay? So it seems like there's a lot of pussified males that do not want the pressure of being men. And these types of pussified males create masculinized females that think they need to take on the role of these pussified males, because the pussified males just are not doing it. They don't want to be male. They don't want to plan. They don't want to be spontaneous. They don't want to put any kind of thought into the date. They just want to pay $50, and at the end of the night, they want you to drop your drawers. Okay? That's the dating pool of black male. So get the hell away from them. Not saying that they're not those type of men outside of the black community, but there's a higher concentration of it in the black community. So stay the hell away from it. Okay? Stay away from them. Stay away from their low standards. Stay away from their low vibrations. Stay away from their disrespect. Stay away from their hatred. And bridge out where men know how to treat women. And if you need to heal to become a whole woman, so you're not bringing on baggage into the next community, then please do so. It might take you years of therapy to realize that how you've been treated in the black community is not normal. You need to take those years of therapy. Okay, so you don't need to be taken out on the most fancy, most pricey restaurants on your first date, but that man does need to put some kind of effort, which, doesn't always need to be monetary. You can tell when a man is trying to do something special for you, and it's not necessarily a high price restaurant. And basically, and also making sure you feel safe, making sure there's no pressure, no expectation of sex, because at this point, the date is not for sex. It's for you two to get to know each other and see if there is anything there to pursue a more serious relationship. Okay, so we have a lot of booty call males that don't want to put in this type of effort and complain about how much they have to pay because they don't want to take a woman out, and they want, like I said, they want to pay $50 just to get in them pants. Then we also have the money grubbing skanks, really, who just want to use men for a free meal. Men can avoid these skanks by just, putting some effort into planning a fun, exciting date for the two of you, paying for the meal within your budget, and making sure that your date gets home safely. You've done your job on a date if you do that. A woman who's insistent on dictating to you where you spend your money and wants you to take her to the most expensive restaurant on the first date or wherever, whenever, is a huge red flag. You should get her input, like, I'm thinking about taking you to A, B, and C. Which one would you like to go? Or because she may have certain food allergies. She may have certain things that you may not know about. So it's good to give her at least some choices within your budget. She does not get to choose unless it's her birthday or something, and and she wants to go somewhere special for her birthday, and she wants to choose the restaurant for her birthday. But as if the man is the one that's the planning, he's the executor, he's the payer, and he's the get me home safe, basically he makes the decision where you eat. Okay, and most women will appreciate a man who has thought out a date, made it special for her, and made sure she felt safe and secure during that evening. Okay, so recently I saw two scenarios, which are, to me, they were funny because I'm just not used to people acting like that. But they were funny to me, but they did not make black women look too well. So two scenarios, two black women, and I'm not sure what the race. I'm thinking that he might have been a Pookie, the first one. So this woman was invited out for some drinks, and this should have been a red flag to her, because you don't just invite somebody out for drinks and alcohol for a date. Someone who invites you out for drinks is trying to loosen you up so they can easily get into your panties. Okay? So they can say, oh, I got the drawers, and put a notch next to their number book or whatever they do these days. Someone who invites you up for drink is trying to get you nice and loose and tipsy, whatever. So the getting to your pants is not going to be that hard for him. I would avoid any kind of drink dates at all unless you are already in a relationship with this person and the two of you are either married or very serious. I would not go on a drink date with just any old man that I'm trying to get to know. Hell no. But anyway, she accepted the invitation knowing that this man wasn't, she said it in her text, she wasn't interested in this man. So why she went on the date is because she wanted some free food. So she went and ordered a shitload of lobsters and a lot of more food on top of that, plus drinks, and thought this man was going to pay for it when this man was really looking for some cheap booty. Okay, so he said he wasn't going to pay, he was going to the bathroom, and then he ditched her ass with the big ass bill, and she had to pay for that. I agree with that. I don't, he was a piece of shit. He knew what he wanted, and he thought $200 was too much to pay for booty, so he left. She wanted to get some free food out of him, and it didn't work out too well for her that day. She had to pay for her own food. Okay, so both had ulterior motive. He wanted the booty call. She wanted free food. He ultimately decided the booty wasn't worth $200, so he dipped on her in the bill. Oh, my goodness. Anyway, the other situation was the black woman who said she looked too good to be taken to the Cheesecake Factory. And in this case, her date was, he looked Indian or Middle Eastern, but he definitely wasn't a Pookie. Okay? So, first, she was out of pocket for taping this man in the first place, trying to put it on her social media page, that, saying look how good she looked, to be taken. She didn't want to be taken to the Cheesecake Factory because she was all dressed up, and she was too dressed up for the Cheesecake Factory. And, aside from her taping him, which I did not like at all, I kind of agreed with her because she was kind of too dressed up for the Cheesecake Factory. And the Cheesecake Factory isn't for everyone. I wouldn't want to be taken to the Cheesecake Factory on a date. The last time I went to the Cheesecake Factory, we were shopping, and we went there to have something to eat. Basically, we had it was an hour wait. The seats are too close together for intimate conversation, and the place was way too loud. I mean, the food was good, and it was fine for me to go there after a day of shopping so we can eat and then go home. That's something that's fine for me. Not everybody wants to be taken to an environment like that on a date. And that should be respected. So I was rocking with her like that for a little bit, until the guy started speaking. And then we found out what really happened. And then she really looked like a nutcase. Okay? So first of all, she was late for 1 hour. She was 1 hour late. Had him waiting down in the car by himself for an hour. So the original place that he had intended to take her for the reservation, that reservation expired because she had taken so long and left his ass in the car waiting by himself for an hour. Lord have mercy. Then she tried to put him on blast for taking her to the Cheesecake Factory. So he politely told her he didn't think that they were right for each other. Rightly so. She disrespected him on many fronts. And it wasn't, because she didn't want to go to the Cheesecake Factory. She had disrespected him by recording him in the first place. She was wrong for having him wait for over an hour, where the original place that he was going to take her, they were no longer accepting their reservation. And she ignored his feelings altogether. So there's no way that he should have to ignore how she treated him. Okay. And then she tried to guilt him by putting him on blast on the video, saying this is where he's taking her. Look how good she looks. Doesn't matter how good you look outside. If you're acting like this, this is not a person that any kind of a man with self-respect would want to continue any kind of relationship with. So he was like, no ma'am, no thank you, not today, Satan, and drove her back home. And that's a man. Personally, she had me waiting more than 10 minutes. I would have done left and blocked her ass, because you don't disrespect someone like that. Especially they go all out planning a nice date for you. You have them waiting for an hour in the car by him. I mean, great. She didn't want to invite him up to his apartment because they didn't know each other like that. But you do not have a man sitting in the car waiting for you for a freaking hour. And you knew your reservation was at a certain time. And then get mad when he doesn't take you this place. So the man nicely said, I'm just going to take you home because I don't think that we're right for each other. This guy was patient beyond belief. Okay? Patient beyond belief. But here's the difference between those two scenarios. Okay? The first guy called her talking about, what you doing? You want to go off with some drinks? Knowing he just wanted some booty, right? And ditched his date because he didn't want to pay the $200 for that booty call. The second guy planned a lovely evening for his date, a nice classy restaurant, picked her up, and even though the date didn't work out, he dropped her off safely after she ruined the evening. Okay? The second guy is what you're looking for. But do not be so entitled to think that your needs are above his. He has needs and expectations just like you do. Okay, the second woman clearly had no respect for the man, but he had respect for himself and refused to deal with this woman, but let her down so respectfully that she had no choice but to try and fix her mistake. But by that time, he was already like, oh, hell no. Okay, so men of other races, they operate differently than the collective of black men. I saw a podcast from a YouTuber called Anton Daniels who said, let black women start dating men of other races so those men can see what black men have been putting up with for all this time. To that I say to you, Mr. Daniels, let black women start dating men of other races so they can see what it's like to be treated like a woman. Okay, even in that last case where the woman was totally out of pocket and rude and disrespectful to that Indian Middle Eastern man, He corrected her so gently that she tried to correct her mistake and fix it. It was too late, but she at least humbled herself in the end. But I guarantee you, she will not pull that bullshit on another man. Okay? Because he was a man. He treated her like a woman. He corrected her. He did not let her disrespect him, but he did not have to trash her out to make his point known. Okay? So here is another man's perspective that aligns with mine and how I was taught. So here, I'm posting it for you guys, okay? So enjoy.
Why I don't do coffee dates, and you shouldn't either. Only do high value dates. Okay, here's one important thing to remember. High value guys do high value dates, which lead to high value relationships. What's important first to cover is why are you going on a date in the first place? You're going on a date to raise attraction, further embrace masculine and feminine energy correctly, make memories, and have fun. That's what dating is all about, those 4 things. If you don't do it right, then you're not going to raise attraction, you will not embrace masculine energy, you will not make any memories, and you're not going to have any fun. I don't know about you, but going and having a cup of coffee, so boring. Going for a walk, you're not a dog. Make it fun. A date should be something enjoyable, guys. Plan a fun activity.
Yeah, we used to go on coffee dates, but coffee dates weren't our main dates. You know, like you get gussied up and go out for our main dates like once or twice a month, and maybe you'd have coffee dates every now and then to, you know, further the conversations that you were having, but it was never a main date. So I don't know what's going on these days, but here, I'm sorry, I'm just going to go back to him.
Yeah, mini putt-putt, then go to lunch or dinner. Some people think, playing mini putt-putt or arcades and time zones, that's not very high value. It is. High value isn't to do with money. High value doesn't mean money. High value means effort. The more effort someone puts into you, the more attracted you're going to be to them. Low effort, low attraction. High value equals effort. That's what it is. A lot of people confuse it when I say, oh, you got a high value date. They think, oh, you know, what are you talking about? You're going to spend $500. No, it's about high value equals effort. How much effort did they put into the date? That's what's attractive. It's the man's job to plan the date. It's the man's job to execute the date. It's the man's job to pay for the date. It's a woman's job to sit back in her feminine energy and have fun. Enjoy the date. Have a good time. Raise attraction. Be fun and flirty. That's her job. It's the man's job to lead the date, execute it, plan it, pay for it, everything. Some people say that's not fair. Life's not fair, for one. Secondly, men and women are different. Doing it this way embraces masculine and feminine energy properly. It works perfectly every time. Whether it's a first date or it's a 10,000th date, I want you to do high value dates all the time, whether you've been married for 50 years. Now, if you want to go and have coffee with your wife or husband or go for a walk, that's fine. Do those things, but it's not a date. I want you to do proper high value dates at least every second week. Go to dinner, do activities, spend time together, have fun, communicate well. Here's some other caveats to it. Going to the movies, going to the cinema. Went to the movies last night, but it's not a date. Why? Because the communication isn't very high. Communication is a very key element to dates. Okay, so go to the movies. Go to the cinema, have a great time, enjoy watching the movie, laugh, enjoy each other's company, but you're not going to talk much in that stage. You still got to do a proper date on another night where you do a proper activity where you can talk and laugh and flirt and be physical with each other and go and have a nice meal somewhere and have a nice evening. That's a proper date. Make sure you do it properly, guys. High value dates only. Low value dates, low value. Don't do anything low value. Don't accept anything low value. And again, low value doesn't mean cheap. It's effort. It's about how much effort someone puts in. I can put in tons of effort and not spend hardly any money at all. Plan a nice picnic, take my wife down to the beach, have this beautiful setting laid out. It would cost less than $100. It's about effort. It's not really about the money. Now, a lot of you girls go, well, I only can get low value dates. Say no. If a guy says, hey, do you want to get a cup of coffee? You say, I would absolutely love to go on a date with you, but I think it'd be better if we shared a meal. Put a few winky emojis in the text. 9 times out of 10, he'll go, oh, yeah, actually, that sounds fantastic. I'll pick you up at 8. He wants to do it. A lot of guys want to take girls on high value dates, but they're nervous. They lack a little bit of courage. They think, if I go all in on the first date, she's probably going to reject me, think I'm going in too hard. Make it clear to him using feminine communication that if you offer me a high value date, it'll 100% say yes. Guys want to take girls on high value dates. Guys want to be chivalrous. They're just confused with society. They think, I'm going to get laughed at or embarrassed or I'm going to get rejected. But guys want to be chivalrous. Show them that you want them to be chivalrous too, and you won't believe it. So many women in my program never open doors for themselves, ever. The husband's always opening the door, forever. My wife never opens her door. Guys want to be chivalrous. They want to feel needed. It helps them with their masculine energy, and it feels good. It feels good. Embrace masculine and feminine energy, guys, and only do high value dates.
Yeah. There it is.